Hello everyone, this is Lisa Kester with Wild Acorns Art Studio, and today I am going to paint this giant platter bowl that I made, and I really love the shape of this. I'm definitely have to make some more, because I think this is one I'm gonna keep. I usually sell everything, but I don't know. My husband told me he wants it as a dinner plate. Geez, how much do you eat? But it will shrink. It will shrink in the glaze firing, but not that much. So I think I'm gonna have to go into my she shed, my little retail store / shed that I have here at my house, and find him a plate. So I've been trying to decide what to paint it all morning. You know me, I'm always flowers or fish or something, and I thought, I really want to paint it like a little fish pond. Whenever I go back and look at some of my, when you go back and see some of the things you painted, and, some things you really like and some things you're like, you can take it or leave it. And, there's just something about fish that I don't know, I'm Aquarius, but there's just something about fish that I've always loved. And when I first started making pottery, well, gosh, if I go back almost 40 years ago, gosh, I threw on the wheel. That's how I learned to throw on the wheel, and I did that for a while. And then I came back after my kids were a little bit older, and then I started hand building. And this is what I hand built all the time, was fish. This was my thing, and this is how I got into all the shows, was with my little fish. So in fact, somebody asked me, if you're watching, I thought I did a video on this. I know I did one on the pumpkins. I make the fish the same way as I make the pumpkins, but I'll do a hand building video on how to make the fish, because I know I haven't in a while. And I thought there was like a search tool that you could go on to YouTube, because I was trying to find it myself, and every time I go to the top search bar at the top of the page, it would look on all of the YouTube pages, I guess, and I never found mine. So I don't know, it's kind of bizarre how that works. But again, I'm not very tech savvy, so I think this one I had to keep because, yeah, I broke the tails off. His little fins, I don't know what I did, but I broke them off. So, but I think he's happy to stay here. So I set him on my table here, and he watches me. But anyway, so I decided, since I'm going to keep this bowl, I'm going to paint it how I want it. So I'm going to paint it with fishy, like a little fish pond. So, well, something popped up on my phone. I get so distracted. Oh, yeah. Well, let me just start because how I get chitty chatty, and then you'll get tired of listening. Well, not most of you. I got a bunch of brushes here. Let's see. My good brushes I save from my acrylics, and I kind of use my junky brushes on for these glazes, because these underglazes, they've got clay in them, and they kind of ruin your brushes. And then someone was asking me, this one's kind of dried up, but I don't know I know what to do, but this is how I scrub my brushes with it's called I can put scrubby soap, but it's really nice to wash your brushes with that. You can find that on Amazon. I'll try to put the link down there if I remember, but anyway, so now my dilemma is, I love this Laguna Catalina Crackle. Oh, it makes a beautiful water, but I am going to probably put food in here, so this is not food safe, I don't believe. Due to the danger of bacterial growth, this glaze is not offered as dinnerware safe. But it probably is dinnerware safe. I mean, if you're going to put it in the dishwasher and, you know. But I think to err on the safer side, I guess I'll, I think I'm getting my glazes out if you're wondering what I'm doing. I need a little more blue. I guess I'll err on the safety side and just use all underglazes. And then I'll just, once I'm done painting, then I'll add 2 coats of the Amaco's HF9 or 2 coats of the Amaco zinc-free clear, but really any zinc-free clear is fine. I think what people run into is they put more than 2 coats and then it can get cloudy, especially on the dark clays. Oh gosh, when I was using that Laguna 266, it always looked cloudy, you know. So let's see. Let me get a little mixing tray here. Well, not a mixing tray. A bucket lid. We're really fancy here. Let me show you again, because I know some of you are new. This is my palette of underglazes. It's in an old bead container, and this seals down pretty well. These really, I mean, they dry out a little bit, obviously, but they become more concentrated, so they become more colorant, concentrated. And anyway, and I like to have them out in front of me. So this is my little palette. If I know I'm going to be away from it for a long time, I will give it a little spray so that they don't dry out all the way. But they're kind of like this semi-moist Amaco glazes that they charge a fortune for. The semi-moist, oh my gosh! I mean, I bought a palette of those. You can't even choose your colors. I'm watering down this turquoise. So if you're wondering what I'm doing over here, I just put a little bit of water in it because I've had this jar for quite a while, and I used quite a bit yesterday on those fish I did. So I'm hoping to take those in. Oh, I guess I'll go in, I have to teach tomorrow morning, so I will go in and run the glaze kiln and put some of these pieces in. I don't know if these will fit. Oh, hopefully I can fit at least this one in my fish. I like to do this. I like to make sure I fire the students' work first. But I've got three big classes this year, so I've got a lot of glazed pieces to load into the kiln. So it's going to take me a while to catch up, and all the Bisqueware, because we've only got a couple classes left. So, so yeah, I have to make sure the Bisqueware is done first, so that they have stuff to glaze and they can get everything glazed and fired before the end of the session. Our new session starts probably September 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I'm going to add a little bit of water, white in here. And it doesn't really matter if it's, I don't want any chunks. You don't want any chunks. And then I painted these little goldfish that you saw yesterday. Now these came from a mold. If you can just search koi silicone molds, goldfish molds on Amazon, and you can find quite a bit. But make sure when you look at them, I can't remember what mold this was. I got so much stuff I can't keep it track of it because I've got a lot here and I've got a lot at work where I teach. But make sure you look at the length. Sometimes you get them and they're like, you know, like this big. And you're like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So always, and I know you do probably, but just, I've been burned. I don't know how many times you think, oh, you know, you look at it and you think it looks big enough, and oh my gosh, I've gotten some that are so tiny. I didn't even take them out of the package. They're still sitting in the box. And I probably should return them, but you know, it's my fault that I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know. Don't feel like I should send it back. Okay, so I think the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to paint a little lily pad. I think I'm getting a little bit of this color here, maybe a tad bit of that, tad bit of white. Yeah, that looks nice. Maybe a bit more green. Maybe just a little bit more. This is chartreuse, the green, and the dark green is I don't know what that one is. I think it's just, what is, hold on, let me look real quick. Oh goodness, yeah. Dark green. Really descriptive. Okay. I'm just going to do a little lily pad here. And maybe I'll do just a little one next to it. You can see some of the, you guys probably can't see that. Can you see that little dot? That little dot right there? I don't know if you can see that. It's just a little dot. It's a little ball. That is called an oolite. And when your glazes have been sitting around a little bit, it's I can see another one here. You want to get these out. You do not want to fire these. Can you see that, little tiny things? Those are oolites. And they're basically, you know, hardened minerals and stuff because of your glazes sitting for a while. But they do not fire down when you fire them. They will stay in that form. So you want to make sure you get those out of there. And you really don't want any lumps anyway. Because if you got lumps in your glaze, when you go to put the clear on, the lumps will come through your clear and you have like a dull spot. And you don't really want that either. So make sure when you're done, everything's dry. Just take your finger and kind of smooth things over. I like that color. A little bit of the dark green, a little bit of chartreuse, and just a tad bit of white. Okay, so now I'm going to try to think what I want to put rocks around the edge. But I want to put some grass growing up too. So I'm trying to decide if I should just do the whole thing in blue. I think I'm going to. Well, I think that would look weird. Having the blue come all the way up to here. Well, but I think it'll be okay. I mean, the sky's blue, so I don't know what other color I would do it. I'm going to add a touch more water to the blue so it flows. If you want the colors to be pretty true to what they say on the jar, you really probably have to do about 3 coats. I don't really worry about that. I mean, you don't have to have, you know, 1 coat or 2 coats or 3 coats. You can do however many coats you want until you get the desired color you want. But, you know, remember that, you know, when you do only 1 coat, there's a good chance you're going to see your brush strokes when you fire it, which is, I really don't like. But, so it's a lot safer to do 3 coats. I think I am going to leave the outside white. I love this aqua blue. This is one of my favorite colors. I think a lot of people like it too. It's a good color choice, I think, when you're glazing things, because it is so popular that when you're trying to sell, you're going to, you know, have a lot of people really like that color and have a better chance of selling it. And I like the white up against it on the outside, so I think I'm going to do one more coat. Probably not going to see a whole lot of this anyway, because I am going to do some grass that grows up on the inside from the pond, and then I have to put my pebbles in there. And I think I'm just going to put those goldfish in there that I showed you. They were actually koi. I was going to paint them on, which kind of torn about that, whether I should paint them on or just add maybe one of these to the side, like that. That way when people get chips out or something, they'll see the fish in there. But it's not as easy to clean, that way. But all right. Get some of these clay boogers out of there. Not clay boogers, glaze boogers. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to continue these more too. I'm going to I don't know if you can see that. There you go. I'll probably add some kind of little stem on the end of here too. Let me add a bit more underglaze here. A little bit of chartreuse, a little bit of dark green. I may add more chartreuse than I am the dark green. I guess everybody will be getting ready for their fall shows soon. I'm going to have one here at the house. That's always a very big undertaking. Try to get the gardens, I'm going to have to get some of these weeds out of the garden. Oh, there we go. There's a couple little tiny oolites in there, but there we go. I can wait till it's dry and get them out. All right. Okay. Let me rinse my brush out. Let me find a more narrow brush. I want to do a stem. I was going to start a video earlier and I just couldn't really make a decision what I was going to paint on here, and then I decided I had to have lunch. So then I had lunch. Then I decided that the plants needed watering outside because the rain was going to pass us over for once. So then I went outside and watered the plants. And then the dog had to go out, so I had to take the dog out. And then I had to do some laundry. So then the washing machine dinged. So, you know how the story goes. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Okay, so now I'm going to do the pebbles here. I'm going to put this over here. Got a little bit of brown. And this is just a brown I made. I think I mixed like red, some black, some purple, a little bit of green. So it doesn't really have a name. I'm going to put a touch of black in there. I'm going to get a touch of white out of here. So that I have kind of a swirl, a little bit of a multicolored for the stones. I can tell when I made the brown, I put a lot of red in there because I can, as I'm adding the white to it, I can kind of see some of it. Maybe I'll add a touch of yellow. There we go, that looks pretty good. Maybe just a little bit more brown. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of water to it. And then now when you're making your pebbles, really try not to make them all one size. Trying to do so you can see it. I'm going to get a little bit more white out of here. So I don't want them all to be the same color. And really, I guess they should be a lot more gray. I always make my stones brown, but maybe I'll add a little more water this time. I mean, a little more white. And a touch of black. Get a little more of the gray. Let's see. Yeah, I like the gray, I think, better. Get some white out of there. I need to get more white. I don't know if I have any. I think I might have a white in kiwi, but I'm not sure. There we go. I like that color, I think, a little bit better. A little bit more white. You know, you never think about this, but I don't know about you guys, but I go through a lot of white. Like, you wouldn't think you would, but it's, you know, I use it so much, even in acrylics. Not quite as much in watercolor, but there we go. That's good. Now I'm going to kind of go over, try to see a good angle for you guys. There we go. Yeah, but I use a lot of white. And I'll show you this as soon as I'm done. I'll lift it up. Yeah, I was procrastinating today. I don't know why. I guess because I just couldn't decide how to paint this. Sometimes I think I shouldn't keep painting the same thing, but you know, I really do like it. And people seem to like when I paint the fish on there. I mean, those products sell pretty well. So let's see here. I made some more red birds. I'll have to show you those. I did a video on those too. You should be able to Google it somehow on the red bird, but those sell really well. They take a little more time. I sell them I think for $45, but they do take more time. So they're hand built too, you know. All right, I think that I'm going to take a little bit of white here, make a little bit more white here. So with these underglazes, if you're not very familiar with them, you can mix them just like you would watercolors or acrylics, you know. And when you put them on here, they don't move. So where you put them is where they stay. They will get a little darker when you fire them, but other than that, they're, you know, they're not going to run like your regular commercial glazes. Okay, and let's see. So if I put, yeah, I think I am going to use these. So what I'll do is I'll dip this in clear, and then I'll clear this, and then I'll dip this in clear, and then I'll just set it in there, and it'll fire in. So, all right, now I'm gonna do. Let me mix up some more green here. Now I'm gonna do the grass. And same thing with the grass. I want to make it lots of different colors. I have to get some more of that chartreuse green. I love that. That's this one here. I turned my air back on today too. It's really not too bad though. I mean the heat. But I get so hot at night, even with the fan on in the door of my room. But you know, then I'm in menopause, so I'm in you know, menopause or heck, 10 years. It's one of those things that just goes on forever. Oh gosh. Okay. Not that you needed to know that. I don't know if any men watch my channel or not. They're probably like, what the heck? We really don't give a crap. You know, I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow to this because I don't know. I don't want it to be the same color as this, but it's probably gonna end up being the same color. I'm gonna get some more dark green. I don't know. I think that's good for now. Let's see if I can do it with this brush. Let's see. We'll try to do it with this brush. I hope you can see this okay. So when I'm doing these, I'm just gonna press down and then lighten it up as you go up. So you press down hard and then you release the brush as you go up. And see that? You just get a little thing like that. This brush is really crappy too. And you want all the different colors. You want different thicknesses, different lengths. You don't want them to all look the same. You don't want them all going straight up and down. It's kind of nice to even bring them up over the top here. It makes it a little more difficult to outline them in black. If I decide to do that, I usually do. I should probably put a little bit of moss maybe around the, might put some moss on the rocks. It's kind of different when you're painting for yourself. Then you can pretty much do anything you want. You can experiment because you figure, well, if it doesn't turn out, it doesn't really matter. I think I need a touch of water. The underglaze is a little thick. Problem is, if you add too much water, then it runs. You gotta be careful of that. And when you're mixing it up, you're mixing up all the colors, and you don't get quite the difference in the shading. But I think I'm gonna go outside after this and maybe attempt to weed my gardens a little bit. Gosh, it just looks so bad. Let's see. I used to love to garden, but now this new house that we have, which isn't really new anymore, but the gardens in the front are all in a hill, and I've almost fallen down and rolled into the street a few times. Oh, and then you get the people, the boys who drive by who think it's hilarious to yell things out the window at you. Oh, goodness. When we bought the house, I thought this was on like a country road. Wrong. And I was the realtor, so I can only blame myself. Now I'm gonna put some, just like a little bit of moss, maybe, growing on here. I kind of want to just fill in some of the places where it's blue. Okay. Charlie is sleeping on my foot. Hi, Charlie. My big giant doggy. He has to be like touching me at all times, pretty much. I guess that way he knows if I try to sneak out on him. Okay. Just kind of playing around with this a little bit to add a little bit of dimension to it. That's one thing that you know, it's hard to do with underglazes is adding dimension unless you really are good at layering and layering and layering and then even then you're not quite sure how it's going to turn out because some colors will burn out and some won't. If you low fire, then you don't really have that problem. I fired a cone 5 with a 20-minute hold. And the 20-minute hold is so that all the air bubbles from the clay off-gassing can heal over. And you don't have as many pinholes. So that's why I do a 20-minute hold. So I'm really firing to almost a cone, probably 5.5. So, you know, when you do 3 layers, you don't get too much burnout. But, you know, if you're trying to shade, you're not going to do it all the same, the same amount of layers, the same amount of thickness or whatever. So you do get a little bit of burnout when you're trying to really use them like watercolors or acrylics. I'm gonna go back and add just some white to some of these. Add a little bit more dimension. Okay. I think I'm going to add a few more. I didn't add any up here, if you can see that. Again, I'm going to add just a tad more water. I threw some pumpkins on the wheel last week, so I'm hoping those turn out. Some big pumpkins are, I guess it's about that tall. Probably 10 inches tall. Not real tall, but I think I'm going to go back over the grass. So there it is so far. I'm really not really liking the old blue, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go back through some of these leaves here, this grass. I'm going to add a little bit of this dark green. Just like I said, to add some, you don't want it all one color. I'm going to bring it up over the edge again on a couple of these. I probably should sell this one. This is going to turn out so cute. But add a little bit of water to my dark green here so I can get a little bit finer line. I'm trying to think how a lily pad goes. I don't know. There we go. Just a little bit of a faint vein line. And it'll be better when I outline it with the black liner. But I don't know that. I'm trying to decide what else I should add. So that's it now. But I think once I add the fish, that'll, you know, I think I'll add 2 little fish in here like that. Yeah, there's got a chunk here. I'm gonna go over it real quick and make sure I don't have any chunks. Trying to get the little oolites out of there. And we'll clean up the outside here real quick. I'm sure my husband will be out here soon wanting to know what's for dinner. Those are the 4 words I think I hate the most. What's for dinner? It's like, I don't know. We got leftovers, you know, hamburgers. I enjoy cooking, but they eat the same thing every night. Fish or chicken tenders. Or steak. But, hamburger, steak, french fries. That's about the amount of excitement we get here. Oh, goodness. Okay, so now I am going to highlight. Trying to decide if I should put this back in there because I'm not glazing anything else today. So this green, I'm just going to shove it back in here, that dark green, because I'm not a huge fan of the dark green anyway, so that's why it's kind of hard sometimes to tell you guys what color something is, because uh-oh, I dropped some paint in there. I have to go back over it with a little bit of blue. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what to, I think I'm gonna save the brown too. I just don't like wasting underglazes. Don't empty it out over the top of what you're painting, Lisa. You guys will be shocked when you see this. 2 videos in 2 days. There we go. I actually did 3 yesterday, but I did 2 little shorts. What did I do? Oh, I made little shells. They're really cute. I hope they fire good, but I'm gonna wait till those are fired before I post those. But they're shells. Chris, my son's life jacket's being delivered. I just saw the Amazon lady. Christopher, guess who's here? Uh-oh, I shouldn't have said that. Now Charlie's barking. I had to order a new I had to order a new life jacket for my son Christopher. He's getting a little too big for the other life jacket. He's giving me the eye. So I just saw the Amazon lady. I think they're here every day. It's just so convenient to order things from Amazon. It's terrible. I just can't imagine, you know, how they can have everything, you know, everything you want. I mean, you seems like, now I gotta try to make this look, now I gotta try to blend it in. It's amazing that they have just everything. I don't know how that's possible. It's like, but they do. I'm hoping when this fires, this looks normal. Ugh. I think it will. Okay. Now, I use a Zyme X. You can't probably see it anymore, so worn up. But I use a Zyme applicator bottle with a jet black Amaco velvet underglaze inside. This is a number 20 tip, and I mix a little bit of water in with this. So make sure you shake it up good. All right, and I'm going to take the pin out. Now, they can clog, but I'm going to have a piece of paper towel over here so I can clean it off when it clogs. Okay. His life jacket fits, it looks like. So, since this has not been fired, when you're doing this or you're outlining it, make sure you go pull it away from you. We got Charlie a life jacket too, so now Charlie has one. But Charlie hasn't been on the boat yet. All right, there we go. See, I mean, it keeps getting, it gets clogged up no matter what you do. I think because this has been in here too long. This glaze has been in here for months. Oh, it just keeps clogging up. So, since I'm on a video, I'm going to try to finish it the way it is, but usually I have a little sieve, and I run it through a sieve and put it back in the bottle if it gets too bad. But hopefully I can get this done. There we go. It's working a little bit better now. If it starts dripping out, then you know you've added too much water. Oh, goodness. Yeah, this works much better if it's been fired first, but I don't like to fire an additional time. It's just, you know, it's just an added expense. The heck? If you hear that crunching, that is Charlie chewing up an ice cube that I gave him a half an hour ago. I think it would be melted. Oh, goodness sakes, Lisa. You just stick the pin in there, kind of give it a couple pushes. Oh, goodness. I may have to, oh, now it's coming out, running out. Must be because there might have been a clog in there. Let's see what I can do here. Oh, well, maybe I won't be able to finish it today. Don't you just love it when things don't go right on you're trying to make a video? Yeah, it's not want to come out at all. Must be a clog in there. Well, I'm going to shake it up really good. I got my finger over the top. Okay, maybe I did it. And I'm going to put the tip in the water. I'm going to blow through it to see if there's what's in there. Oh, maybe I got the clog out. I probably have black all over my mouth though now. Here we go. I think it's, do I have black? Probably a black. So what I did is I dipped this in the water and then I blew through it, and hopefully I got the clog out. There, okay, that seems to be working. Let's see. Yeah, seems to be working now. Yep, that worked. I hate to even say it out loud because it'll gum up as soon as I say that. So I hold, if you notice, I hold the bottle on the side. That helps also the underglaze to not clog up the tip. Let's see, okay, now I'm going to do the grass. So I think I'm going to try, let's see, I usually do it on the side like this. I hope you can see okay. Let's see here. Maybe it's easier this way. There we go. Yeah, this is a little bit easier. You can't see the exact one I'm doing, but you can see it as I go around, and I'll hold it up. My back's getting cramped. I don't know why. I must sit weird in my chair. Don't clog up now. A lot of people like to glaze on greenware. I do not. I can't imagine this. Of course, I guess if you did the underglaze and then did the lining after it's been bisqueware, that would be easier, I guess, but I just do not like to glaze on greenware. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but you know, you try to wash something off, or you can't tell the colors very well either. And then if the bowl cracks or something in the bisque firing, then you've just wasted hours glazing it and everything. So yeah, I'm not a fan of glazing on greenware. And I don't think it makes any difference in the colors that come out. I haven't seen any difference anyway. Okay. Can you see my swipe over here? I'm going through. I need to empty it down anyway and give it a good cleaning. Like I said, this glaze has been in here for months. Now there is a red one too that's smaller, so it kind of depends on your hand size. I have big hands, so I like the blue one. It's kind of tricky to do without, you know, always having to pull it away from you. And I'll hold this up in just a minute so you guys can see it. Okay. Okay, so there's so far. So now I'm going to go back and do my dots. This is kind of the fun part. I love the dots. Come on. I think I squeeze out more glaze than I use, more underglaze. But that's the way it is when you do it this way. I have to poke it again. Oh. Gosh darn, I can't see the little hole. I need a oh shoot, I need a magnifying glass. Can you see me trying to? Gosh. Oh goodness, there we go, goodness sakes. There. Okay. Coming down the home stretch. Now it's really coming out. Kind of weird how that works. Sometimes it acts like it's thick and then it's thin. Okay. So this will go in the kiln tomorrow morning. So I probably will not, so Friday I'll get it out of the kiln and I will upload the finished picture on the front of the video. So you'll get to see it glazed. There we go, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'm trying to work on my Etsy site tonight. If I can get that up and running. If I have to change the name, then I'm just going to change the name. Because I think my year is coming, well, I think my year on my website, well, that might not be coming up till December. I can't remember. I have to go look. But I'm definitely not paying for another year of that. So I think that's good. I don't know if I put my name on the back of this or not. Oh, I did. I got a stamp. Sometimes it's too hard to stamp. So put my pen back in there. And always store your applicator bottle upside down. Because if the glaze dries in this tip, it is a pain in the hiney to get out. Oh gosh, yeah, it took me a long time to clean mine out. Okay, I'm gonna throw away that piece of paper towel that's full of that. And so this is what it's going to look like. Let's see, where should I put that fishy? I think I'll put him here. There you go. What do you think? Yeah, I like it. I think it's going to be cute. I'll probably put the fish a little further onto the rocks when I actually fire it. So that when you're picking out your food, you're not hitting them constantly, but I do want them in there. Look at them. But yeah. So when this dries, I'm going to put 2 coats of clear on here, and I'm going to put clear on the outside. I will just, add clear to the fish and lay them in here, and they'll fire right on there. So thank you for watching, and it's so good to chat with you guys again. It's been a while, and if you like this channel, please hit share and please hit like. That's what they want us to do, have more likes, and then they'll share the video more, so it helps us with all those algorithms and all that stuff. But anyway, so thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video.